How's it going, Ole Miss fans? Getting a chance before they start off their season this weekend to chat with the reigning SEC Men's Coach of the Year, Ryan Vanhoy. What a wild offseason it's been, Coach, as you guys prepare for continuing to take this program to new heights. How would you break down how this build-up for 2020 has gone with everything that's happened here this offseason?
Yeah, thanks, Seth. Thanks for having me today. Yeah, obviously it's been a little strange. I think we didn't see our team really from March until August, which, is definitely not the norm. So I think our athletes did a really nice job of getting prepared for the season on their own. Obviously, most people left Oxford or went home or, based themselves somewhere else over the summer. So they really had to do a lot of the work on their own. So credit to them for coming back to campus and being fit and ready to really start the hard training here for the actual racing season that's upon us now.
Yeah, I talked to Waleed in the spring, and we kind of said the same thing. One of the blessings about your sport is they can work on their own, but the onus is on them. For you to say they came back in great shape, ready to go for this year, what does that say about their motivation to try to do better things here in 2020?
Yeah, I mean, obviously running is such an individual sport on so many levels, but I think what's really unique about, our program here, we are so much about the team at Ole Miss. And so I think that's really what motivates our athletes when we're not at practice. When they might be training on their own during the summer. I think it all kind of ties back to the team and just thinking about our team goals as a program and how each individual plays a role in us achieving or not achieving those. And so ultimately, I think that's really what motivated them while they were gone.
The men's team's looking for a third straight SEC championship. It's hard to get to the top. It's even harder to stay there. So what can you say about that bunch as they try to get back to the top again here in 2020?
Sure. Yeah, I think even though we've won the last two years in a row, I don't think we take anything for granted. I mean, it's going to be really tough to win again this year for three straight. Arkansas has a great program. They always have. They reloaded with a lot of new guys over the last year. So, their team's going to look a lot different than it did last year. So, it's definitely going to be a new challenge. I think we're up for it. We're excited for it. We're going to give it our best shot. But, yeah, we definitely expect it to be the biggest challenge we've had in quite a few years.
And then over on the women's side, they're coming off their best finish at SEC's best finish at Nationals, return all but one runner. How do you see them taking another stride this year?
Yeah, I think our women's team is, knock on wood, in one of the best positions we've ever been in. Obviously we lost only one athlete last year, but we returned our top runner from 2 seasons ago who redshirted last season in Cleo. So I think, obviously she adds another dimension to our team. We have a few other people that have made really nice jumps in the last 6 months. So, our women's team's motivated. Obviously we were second last year, but we want to see if we can do better than that. I think, same as on the men's side, Arkansas's got a really great women's program as well. So, they're kind of the standard, and we're trying to close the gap as best we can.
I know you've talked about putting this team on the map nationally, and it's something you've done more and more each year. But now the NCAA championships are postponed for right now. So what will success look for? You talk about goals with this team. What will success look like for this team here this season?
Yeah, I think we're just going to approach the SEC like it's the NCAA championship for us. To be honest, especially, in the SEC, a conference title is a big deal. So I think for us, we're just going to approach the conference meet like it is a national meet. On the women's side, you've got a reigning national champion in Arkansas. So you have that same sort of quality up front as you would have at a national meet there. So, we're just going to, I think, more than anything, be grateful that we have some races on the schedule. I know there are a lot of athletes across the country that are not getting the opportunity to compete this fall. And so we talk a lot about just being grateful and making the most of those opportunities, not taking them for granted.
Yeah, you're like a lot of coaches right now who are getting to prepare, but it's against the SEC. So it's going to be tough week in, week out. It all starts this weekend. We'll be keeping a close eye on your team this season, Coach. Really appreciate you sitting down with us today.
Sure. Thanks for the time, and hotty toddy.